Hello, welcome. Boots House Tales back again for another podcast. I'm here today with two members of the KTB. Hello.
Kentish Town boys, Tom and Matt.
So yeah, with Tom Jellybean and Mad Dog. This episode is going to be about more football centric. It's going to be about actually going to pubs before a football game and after a football game. What do you want from a pub? As a football supporter, as an away fan, as a home fan, the different aspects, the different perspectives of just being a football fan and going for a drink. Because football and pubs are linked, they're like merged, they're like intertwining. Can't see this at the moment, but like we're doing like from the office, like melting pot. Because you know what I mean, a lot of synergy like in football and pubs. So yeah, let's get straight to the point. What do you want as a home supporter from a pub? I'm going to go to Matt on this one first.
Cheap booze, isn't it? Number one.
Just cheap booze?
I mean, location.
Okay, let's roll it back a bit. Let's say, like, who do you support? Where's your area? Where do you go? Like,
I'm an Arsenal fan, so hang around Finsbury Park.
Okay, cool.
But to be honest, depends if it's a weekend game. If it's a weekend game, I'll go to a few boozers along the way. But I want the last boozer to be ideally quite close to the ground.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I don't want to be walking 15-20 minutes to my seat.
So what's your ideals? Like, what's your Finsbury Park boozers?
If it's a weekend game, generally start off in the pins, and I'll probably end up in the Ankle Arms now. Unfortunately, the Eaglet was closed permanently a couple of months ago. That used to be a good one, but that's gone now. And get a good pint for £3.20. So it's all right.
It's a bit like the Phoenix Club from Phoenix Nights, though, isn't it?
Is that why it closed down?
Cabaret,
probably.
like cabaret every Saturday.
There's nothing bad in there going on. Just
What about a week game then? Got a lot less time. Obviously, you've been at work all day.
Because obviously, I probably don't get to the pub till about 6 o'clock if I'm lucky. Kick-offs, well, it depends if it's league game, 7:45 or 8 o'clock, so I only stick to the same pub before the game. Then usually end up in the pins after.
What pub
now it'll be the Ankle. It used to be the Eaglet.
Do you ever go Gunners? Yeah, I was going to say.
Don't go Gunners anymore. It's a bit off the beaten track, like because I don't know if you've heard like the Away Boys. You know they cover like all sorts of songs and they put Arsenal lyrics in. They're quite a good laugh. They used to play the Gunners pub quite often, but one of them moved to Spain, so they don't really play anymore. And the boozer itself the beer's not all that. But that's another thing. The beer that's available. Pins has got a great selection. I mean, you know it. You've been there before. It's a good selection of beer. The other thing now that we're so on the subject of it, they got a great selection, but also, if you cater for a number of football fans, obviously the place is going to be rammed. You need to have good bar staff. 12 pins is the best pub for it. It's so effective. You won't wait longer than 5 minutes for a pint. If that, it's brilliant.
Yeah, I concur. I agree with that. To go back to a non-football pub, which is always fucking rammed, but you wait for fucking ages. Is the Edinburgh Castle in Camden. Piss take.
Absolutely.
That's a joke.
And it's about £7 a pint as well. Maybe not £7, but it is ridiculous.
Not far off it.
You know, I've never experienced anything like it.
That's a joke.
That is one thing that grinds my gears.
He said it.
Especially if you've been waiting for ages and then someone will come in next to you and then he'll just jump in front of you and acknowledge that you've been waiting for ages. That's one of my pet peeves. About that. Disgusting.
Outrageous.
Get him out! I've seen Mad Dog walk out of pubs for less. So.
Oh yeah. It's just courtesy at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yes, good bar staff is key actually, and you're right about the pins. I don't tend to go there, only for England, twice a year, because I'm a United fan, so I can't be seen in Finsbury Park. But the pins is good.
When you go to, because obviously you've got season ticket home games. Do you have any superstitions or rituals about certain pubs? Will you not go to a certain pub, say because of Spurs have beaten you when you went there or something?
No, I don't have any of that, to be honest. No.
So what about, for example, say 5:30 evening game? being in the pub like maybe from like 1 or 12, all depends.
Depends if I've been out the night before, innit?
Like how will you go to the concourse to have a beer in the ground, or you would just like have a beer and straight to see?
To be honest, the beer until this season, the beer's been pretty appalling at the Emirates. But now we're sponsored by Camden Town Brewery.
Oh, really? Okay.
But it's not available everywhere. I still need to find it. To be honest, I just prefer the atmosphere of the pubs. I'm not being funny now, especially Arsenal, big club like Arsenal, like United. I hate to say it, you do get a lot of football tourists, and I just prefer the atmosphere of like a proper boozer where you get season ticket holders. It's just a better atmosphere. Like they know. No, there's anything wrong with football tour. I am myself like been to Germany and that, but like you like seeing faces. Like it's another thing for football for me. It's a social aspect. It is a family. It's a family away from home. Like you've got your own group of mates there. It's just good to see the same old faces like time again. And if you go to concourse, you wouldn't have that because all our season tickets are spread all over the stadium.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
we don't drink in the same bar from inside the stadium.
When I moved to the Emirates, did you find yourself drinking in new pubs closer to the Emirates, or did you stay to the original ones at high? Because I know like West Ham, when they moved to the London
They're a bit
stadium,
further out though, aren't they?
Yeah,
I mean,
you can't drink in where the old Upton Park was anymore because it's nowhere near the ground.
I used to travel into Finsbury Park anyway, so I've always gone to the pins for as long as I can remember.
Is that always been like, even
Yeah.
Did West Ham try to put on like coaches from like bowling? I don't know if they still do that anymore, but because like
What was
obviously
that pub called? It was like a famous
The Anne Boleyn.
yeah.
Awful pub. Horrible. No, honestly, like, it's some illustrious characters in there, I'm telling you.
is
I've
West
been there
Ham,
once,
isn't it?
yeah. They're not all bad, but we've got a few West Ham mates, they're good. I'm not.
So I know like around the London Stadium we've got Hackney Wick, and like, I know a few of the bars won't let football fans in there, will they?
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't. Well, I drove through Forest Gate and Stratford the other week. West Ham were playing Palace at home. There's quite a few boozers around there. It's all been taken over by Hammers.
Actually, one of my last guests, actually, Alex, is a bar owner in Hackney Wick, the Pearl. He's a West Ham fan, so he gets a few West Ham bods in there after the gap before and after. And also Crate Brewery, don't they? Get lemon, yeah. And
Bar 19. It's Bar
I think
19.
I think Bar 90 would, I think.
I bet they bloody love a football
And
crowd,
what's that
do.
little boat as well, man? It's got that little boat, isn't it?
It's all action. It's all very on trend.
Hell in a Cell, isn't it?
Hell in the
So, what about you now, Tom? What about the away perspective? Because you know you're going to unknown territory. It's not where you're from. It's not your end.
Well, that's it. I mean, I'm a long-suffering Middlesbrough supporter through my dad's side of the family. I didn't really have any choice in the matter. I grew up in the south, but ended up supporting the team 400 miles away. So the majority of the matches I go to are away games because obviously getting back to Riverside every week is not feasible. But yeah, it's I think the main thing you're looking for as an away supporter is a pub that first of all is going to let you in. Because quite often there'll be home supporters only pubs, and generally the best pubs will be for home fans, and you'll quite often get put in an absolute shit on dump.
Like cattle.
Yeah. So what I generally tend to do is not wear colours, just because.
Smart move.
Well, then you eliminate that.
Yeah.
That what do you call it? That process. But yeah, I mean, it's a different kettle of fish for me going to an away game than a home game because, like Franco said, you're in uncharted territory, which is really exciting, and which is like part of the reason I love going to away matches because you're going to a part of the country that you've probably never really even dreamed of visiting.
Yeah.
Stoke, Coventry, like Birmingham.
All in Towers Day, Stoke, isn't it?
Bloody hell.
Stoke's probably one of the worst places.
How was that?
Honestly, it's probably one of the worst venues I've ever been to.
Do you ever like meet up with people you've met on away trips before, like fellow Middlesbrough fans? Have you recognised a few?
Yeah, quite a few. There's quite a lot of London-based Middlesbrough fans, which is where we live. Quite often I go with my cousin because he's also a Borough fan. And we often see the same faces on the train on the way up, and we'll always. I mean, the classic. The best away day is a Saturday without doubt, because you get up early.
time to recover.
And it's also like the hubs, train station hubs of London, Euston, King's Cross, and so on, Liverpool Street, are like awash with all different supporters going to different parts of the country, which is really exciting. And when you get there, you know, everyone's eyeing each other up a little bit, like youth support, and like you think, like, you know, there's a bit of rivalry and a bit of banter between the different sets of supporters. I mean, it can boil over sometimes, you know, especially if your team's being thumped 6-0 away. And, you know, say I've had it before, coming back from Birmingham, and Man United fans came on and started taking the piss about us being shit and all that. And you know, you just travelled like 2 or 3 hours by train, spent a good bit of money, you've had a skin full, and then someone's come and take the piss on the train away. You don't necessarily need it. No. But with regards to pubs, I mean, quite often the away supporters friendly pubs are not the best. You're ideally looking for first of all, someone's going to get you in. B, you want to congregate with your own fans really. So that someone's going to let you have a laugh, have a sing song, without getting too heavy-handed or too overzealous. And someone that's got the early game on always helps, because that helps get the atmosphere up. Especially if a rival team's playing in the morning and they're getting beat. It puts everyone in good spirits. But I mentioned Stoke earlier. Stoke was awful.
Didn't you get done like a kid with that?
No comment.
Yeah, we got off the train and.
Actually, one thing about Stoke, I know you can't see this, but we're drinking a Ranger Boom. And when I went to Stoke to go to Alton Towers quite a long time ago, stayed in the Stoke, I went to this shop and some geezer in there, owned the shop, was going. It was the first bloke to bring Rubicon to Stoke. And he was the first person to bring a Ranger Boom to Stoke as well. Yeah. Apparently,
was he like heralded as a hero?
He said he told me a story when our boy picked up this Rubicon, because it's everywhere down here. He's like, this bloke travelled 8 miles to come here to get a Rubicon every day. So I don't mind Stoke.
My opinion differs quite greatly.
Mine don't.
We literally got off the train and I asked the copper, I said, is there an ATM anywhere? And he went, no, not in a train station, lad. I said, there's no ATM in a train station. He said, no, it's about a mile down that way. I said, you've got to be joking me. No ATMs in the centre of town in Stoke, which is first off. Then he said, are you home or away supporters? I said, we're away. And we got herded to this pub, I can't even remember the name of it. He said it was the only pub for away supporters. And bearing in mind, it was about 1:45 in the afternoon. It was still a good few hours till kick-off. So my cousin and I got down to this pub, got in, it was absolutely rammed, full of Middlesbrough fans. I got to the bar, in front of the bar, and he said, we're not serving anymore. I said, it's not even 1 o'clock yet. He said, yeah, we're not serving anymore. The only place you can go now is take a shuttle bus from here to the ground and drink in the concourse. So I thought, this is ridiculous. So we got on the bus, it was like something out of the 1940s. So I couldn't even stand up on the top deck because the roof was so low, falling to bits. And then the police escorted to the ground into the concourse. And then when you're actually in the away end, you're trapped in by fences all around you. So you can't, it's just an awful experience. And it didn't help that we got stuffed as well. And I was just so happy to get out of that place. But,
do you think, because Stoke's known for its atmosphere, isn't it, as a ground, like home supports apparently, because it's a bit windy in it, so all the wind comes in.
It's a very cold place.
It makes a lot of noise. Do you think they do that on purpose to piss off the away fans?
I think so. Yeah, I think they do. The Geordies put the fans up in the corner of the stadium, so they can't get an atmosphere. I think Stoke would probably do that to their away fans as well, to give them the best as possible. It's just one of those ones there where you just won't bother going the next time. And then there's other away days which you'll do 100 times over. Fulham is a fantastic one. We took a boat there one year. The boat turned into a pub.
Charlton,
yeah, we did the same thing. But my favourite is actually probably A, because I live in London, and B, because I just love drinking around here, is Millwall. I know Millwall gets a really bad press.
Are you drinking London Bridge and Waterloo?
Yeah, I know
Down the barrel, boy.
Yeah, and Millwall gets a terrible press as a football club, yeah. But as a place to drink before, Borough Market.
Get a cheeky at Manada in as well.
Yeah, exactly. Get a bit of food as well. You've got the George, you've got the Old King's Head, you've got the Wheat Sheep, you've got the Barrow Boy. You know, all those pubs around London Bridge are amazing, and then it's one short stop, 2 short stops to South Bermondsey, and then you're in the ground.
Yeah.
And it's I love it, especially after the game as well, because you can go and have a drink. I think quite often as an away fan, you're very conscious of getting out of the place you're in and getting back home, so you don't have time to hang around after the games. So quite often you're getting cans as quickly as you can, so you can get smashed on the train on the way home.
But the only thing with Millwall, they lock you in, don't they? Sending things away from you.
Yes, that is annoying. I think they must do it to most clubs, but every time I've been locked in for 30 minutes after the game, which is a bit stupid because it lets the crowd die down. But then when you get to the platform at Bermondsey Station, everyone just congregates together anyway.
It's waiting for it.
It's complete. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it obviously helps the police sort out issues, but
they've got a bad rep, and they never still don't open the bottom tier, do they?
That's it. I will say that the Den has probably got the worst beer I've ever tasted in a football ground. I can't remember what it was called, but it was fucking disgusting. It was like cactus. It's an Italian name, unbrand.
Oh shit, because I went with you before, isn't it? Yeah. I can't remember what it's called. It's like fake Moretti, isn't it?
Yeah, fake Moretti, Moody Moretti. It was. I literally, I could drink about half a pint, I had to spit it out. It was fucking disgusting.
Yeah, it wasn't that clever, was it? That weren't too clever at all.
But definitely, the away day is something that, especially you've got a group going. We've all been to a match together in Southampton a few years ago, and it's just such a good day out. Drinking early doors.
It is, yeah.
You get down there in a different part of the country. You're not there to take the piss, but you're there to let people know you're there as well.
Yeah. It's like that. Maybe this is not the right word to say, the right phrase, but like mob mentality. Yeah. Not mob, but like because you are up against it, then you have to be like a peacock, innit? You have to like show your feathers. You know what I mean? And I'm not here to get mugged off. I'm here to
ruffle a few feathers.
We're here to come down to your town and try to win a game of the bloody football.
Most places are alright with it. Like, there's the odd place where you go and you feel a bit uneasy.
Where is that?
Where?
Stoke?
Actually, do you know what? Coventry City, when I went a few years ago, I was a bit younger then. It was a bit tasty. This was back in the early 90s. Like Manchester City years ago was a bit. Yeah, it's a bit lively. Even like Bristol City back in the early 90s, when I was probably about 19 or 20, was interesting. But it's just you've got to be careful.
What has been the worst? This is to both of you. And what is the worst away ground you've been to?
My uncle's going to hate me for this. Swindon town it's not great. He's a big Swindon fan. Swindon's up there definitely, and Portsmouth probably.
I've not done many away days like with Arsenal. It tend to be like London. But just the ground, like I've been to Fratton Park before, it's an absolute dump. Like, and then that's not taking anything away. I think Pompey fans, even though I went to uni in Southampton, they are good. They're brilliant. You're talking League Two. They still managed to sell 13,000 or something season tickets, which is fantastic. They're brilliant, but the ground needs a bit more than a little paint.
It's knocking down.
Well, to be fair, you're right. I met a Pompey fan in Albania.
Oh, another thing though, Sellers Park, beer is shocking there. Change your fucking beer pad, it's sort out. You've got a great little boozer near Norwood Junction Station, get it? That was it?
So it seems like we all...
they don't serve it in the away end, I tell you.
You can all agree that Fratton Park is dog shit.
Absolutely don't. They run out of hot water there.
They did, yeah. I was there, yeah.
No Bovril.
So I went to get a Bovril or a cup of tea, couldn't get it. No hot water.
There's no bar, is there, even in the concourse?
No bar, right.
The first time I went there was with my brother, and it was about 2005, and it's Tuesday night, and it had no roof back then. The away end had no roof, and it was pissing down the rain. It was just an awful experience. I had to go to school the next day. It was absolutely rubbish.
it's mad to think that used to be Premier League ground not so long ago. Really. They won the FA Cup.
Can you imagine like someone from like a rich oil baron from Dubai was to watch a football game in England and you see it for the weekend in Portsmouth?
You say that Dean Court Bournemouth ain't much of a Premier League ground. I know Tom will love that comment.
Tim Pot Club.
Mickey Mouse.
Play good football though. They're playing all right.
It's not called Dean Court anymore, though, is it?
Isn't it?
Vitality.
Oh well, yeah, but
Sold out sponsors. Huh?
sell out.
I'll give it that. I'm doing away there just for the.
Yeah, nice, lovely place.
No, I like Bournemouth, yeah. Solid Bournemouth,
Occasionally, like, if you do have a big away day, you sometimes stay over. Like we went to Bristol didn't we, a few years ago and stayed overnight. And that's always quite good because then you get to experience the town a little bit more.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, like recently I've been going to Birmingham quite a lot. We played Villa quite a few times in the cup, and I've been with my cousin. And it's great living in London. You can get back, and once you get back at about midnight, you've got enough time to have a quick pint at your local as well.
Down the Eddies.
Down the Ellie yeah. Provide like it's all good if you won. If you're being thumped, it's usually straight home. But if you've won, you've come home triumphantly. You know, it's great.
No better feelings as a football fan.
Is it not win or lose on the boots?
Yeah, well, it depends when. I mean,
That's our motto. You nicked it. Win or lose, we're on the boots. AFC.
I thought that's a football
or draw.
Football focus. Yeah.
I think on a weekend, yeah, but on a midweek game, probably not. Depending if you've got to go to work the next day.
Well, saying that, I went to the Europa League game against Victoria last night, and didn't get in till 3 a.m. So there you go. Still went to work.
Have you got any specific places you like to go after a game if you've won, as a treat sort of thing, or to celebrate?
Well, having lived in Kentish Town for quite a while, can't beat the Eddies. I mean, then again, it's the only place that's open really late. I mean, you got Blues Kitchen on a Thursday and that, but it's open till 2. Good doorman, known them for years. Always a good crowd, good music.
Big Vince.
A few sorts in there as well, so a bit of eye candy.
Lovely jubbly.
Yeah, ticks all the right boxes.
Actually, one thing you do get, and I've experienced this from Matt a few times, I met him after the games, you quite often get, especially in European games, you get away fans coming in. And it's always quite interesting to speak to them. Like we met some lads from Cologne, didn't we, once?
They were absolutely brilliant.
Such good value. We exchange stories about how their grounds are and what their rituals are and everything else. It's quite interesting to see what they've got to say.
They actually invited us over there, so still need to take them up on their offer.
Yeah, definitely do that.
It's good atmosphere.
That'd be good crack now.
Yeah. They were brilliant, to be fair. But it's a bit of an issue, that game. But so many season ticket holders sold their tickets to Cologne fans, so I think they had more fans than Arsenal fans inside the stadium, and it could have kicked off. Fortunately, it didn't, and it was all good natured after the game. Probably helped by the fact that we beat them 3-1. So
you went 1-0 down there, didn't you?
Hey?
You went 1-0 down, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right.
Now it's going mad, isn't it? It's going potty.
Well, I went a bit nuts for a bit.
Mad Dog lost his rag.
Can't believe it.
Nah.
I'm gonna put one of my curveballs in here now. I've not really prepped this curveball at all. Franco's curveball, yeah. If you've been listening to the podcast previously, it's always something I pop in there, something not to do with a pub, not really. This week, or this episode, is you work here, you're at work, it happens to all of us, you need to go for a dump, going for a dump at work, like, as a normal human being, you'd have the courtesy just to, like, if you'd done a bit of skids, you'd like wipe it down, just use the brush, innit? Why at work would people do massive shits, and just fucking leave it for the next
Mate, I had the same thing that happened to me today. The worst thing was they rung out a pub roll as well. Fortunately, I had some spare tissues in my back pocket.
Disgusting. Why do people do that?
Is it always a brush in a work toilet though?
In my work, something is.
We just don't do it.
No, they don't do it.
So I'm a big advocate for the disabled toilet for a dump.
The executive bathroom, as I like to call it.
If you get away with it, you're in the disabled. It's a very good question. I don't know why. Like, maybe people just feel above it, whereas what they think someone else is just going to do it. Maybe they're proud of it. maybe they're proud of what they've done.
But you know, no, I don't want. As anyone else, don't want to see your shit on.
Would you clear up a skiddy?
Always clear it, mate. Always clear it, mate. Always.
Just take a picture if you're so proud of it, and then clean up your arsehole.
There's no brush. How would you clean it in?
Toilet paper. It's courtesy, isn't it? At the end of the day.
You dip your hand in the toilet. Clean the skiddy.
Yeah, if there's no, yeah. I'm washing my hands anyway. No, I make sure there's enough toilet paper. So no, I make sure I've got enough toilet paper.
So I'll only clean the skid on my own or on someone else's house.
Yeah, I've noticed you've done that a few times.
No, it's like if there's no brush, like you just get a load of toilet paper.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Make
Yeah,
it, make
exactly.
it like a Millwall brick and like just roll it, and it's like wipe it
Hang
down.
about. What?
And wipe it down. Yeah. But yeah, yeah.
Is that something that happened to you today? Is that
You
Happened today, yeah.
you a Cosset Lions fan, right?
Happened today, so it's not fit. Happens all the time. It's all the time.
caught someone's red-handed, for example, you've gone in before, you knew it was clean, and the person came out and saw it come out, would you call it that? Depending on who it was.
Depends who it was, yeah. And if that works, it's going to be all conversation. But you just go and gossip.
Send a big email round, group email. Let's go. Whoever's leaving fucking skiddies on the
Clean it up.
Shouldn't have to do it though, should you? Shouldn't have to.
That's disgusting.
Outrageous.
That's fucking one, isn't
Bloody true. Anyway, back to the football. Or back to the football phases. We've all done this, kind of touched this slightly. But as football fans, we've all travelled abroad to like teams we don't support to visit, to go to football. Like I've been to St. Pauli, like Hamburg, like you've been to Seville.
Germany is brilliant.
Like,
Bundesliga.
It's like, how do you feel like the different atmosphere for drinking, like in abroad for football, compared to being at home?
So much better. I hate to say it, because I'm only going to go along with what I know from the Bundesliga. I went on a Bundesliga weekend with two old work colleagues of mine. We flew to Dortmund. We went to see Schalke on the Friday night. Mönchengladbach, Bayern Munich on the Saturday, and then we saw Frankfurt at home, their local derby against Darmstadt, and then flew back. What a weekend, unreal. Like, really good people. We went to a few of the fan clubs. Cheap beer. Paying like €2.50 for a beer, and you can drink inside the stadiums. And it was winter time, on the run up to Christmas, and you could drink, mulled wine and that. It's fantastic, and there's no trouble. And I don't agree with the fact that. I think most fans in England, we all get tarnished with the same brush, like from our past. Unfortunately, it's still the same with England fans abroad. Tom and I have had it. There is a minority that cause trouble. I still like to think, and I believe, and I've seen it. The majority of football fans are decent. I don't think, it's only 90 minutes, right, a game. I don't think it would be an issue bringing back alcohol in stadiums, because you've got CCTV everywhere anyway. If someone's going to do it, you give them a lifetime ban and a custodial sentence. They're not going to do it again. And that experience for me, that freedom of not having to think, I've got to sink a few in before kickoff, and that probably gets you more wrecked at the end of the day. Unreal. The ticket price, obviously being an Arsenal fan, we paid through the bloody roof. Got some of the most expensive tickets in world football, well, in UK anyway. Unreal, less than €30 a ticket, good seat, cheap beer, good food. What more do you want?
I agree to a certain extent. I've never done a Bundesliga game. I've been to Spain to watch Seville play Getafe, and I would say it's slightly the opposite, because in Spain, football drinking culture isn't really existent with football. In fact, they weren't serving any beers in the ground when they went at all, and it was a Sunday evening, so I guess that might have played an impact on it. But people were drinking before the game, but not excessively like we would here. Everyone was having a quiet drink in the nice bars outside the ground, table service, that sort of thing, which everyone, these boys know I love a bit of table service.
I think we all do, don't we?
But Yeah, actually, inside the stadium it was very basic. Like there was very little food concessions and very little drink. People were eating these weird seats, and just like spitting them out. It was a bit odd.
Well, that one thing was when we went to Bilbao, wasn't it? What a stadium that is! If you've never been there, go to Bilbao just to watch the game. Stadium is fantastic. San Mames, absolutely brilliant.
You could drink inside the ground, but I think Bilbao is slightly different to the rest of Spain, possibly.
Basque country.
But like, I don't know, Matt and I went to England, Spain. Again, it was a Real Betis, wasn't it? And again, I don't think they served alcohol there at the ground, did they?
Nah.
They didn't.
No, in fact, they wouldn't let us. They wouldn't let us drink close to the stadium. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
As we all know, if you've ever been to Spain abroad in football, their police, their old bill does get very, very heavy-handed.
But yeah, we had a great time in some of the side streets in Seville, didn't we, after the game?
Oh, amazing.
We found this little bar and we were drinking that rum. Do you remember that? What was that rum?
Terry's.
Terry's rum, yeah. And, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure, but our mate Jim, who's with us, he's gone to Lanzarote and he posted a picture with a bottle of Terry's the other day. He loves it. It is good stuff. So yeah, just a big shout out to Terry's for making our trip to Seville all the more memorable.
If you've been to Seville, it's got there's these little side streets, all these little bars, and actually you spend you're just floating it out because there's no like actual designated area for everyone. It's like people will be on the street and inside the bar as well. And they have some like barrels and that you can lean.
One of the most beautiful cities I've ever been to. Architecture is unreal. Like, yeah, you have to go there if you haven't.
In terms of like having a drink there, it was really good. Like with like the cafes, bars, and all that stuff. I mean, I love all that. Especially that's for me. That's what makes going. If you're going to watch football abroad, you find like a square or.
It's what you don't quite get if you travel up to Stoke. Sorry, Stoke fans.
Burnley or something like that.
Stoke are getting it, aren't they, today?
Bracknell, winner.
Big cup. No.
Actually, Nottingham Forest is quite good because you go to Hooters before and that's Hayes in the end.
No, actually, when I went to St. Pauli, which is German's equivalent to Championship, but St. Pauli are quite a famous team, kind of political movement essentially, and the ultras. And what's their things they call in Germany for the game? Is it Tivos? Is it?
Oh yeah.
So
like
Tifo, yeah. Well, it's Italian, isn't it? But but they all do it on the continent.
Yeah, they're quite known. They're known for it.
Borussia Dortmund, the wall, amazing.
So when I went to Hamburg, luckily got a ticket in the ultras end. You could drink in there. It's all good. All standing the whole game. All having a sing song. Great atmosphere. Could have a drink. Went to like the local beer bar afterwards called Johnny Roger. Like the fans, all gravy. No one getting out of van. And I agree with Mad Dog that hopefully one day, I don't think it will ever happen, but I'm pretty sure it will ever happen that they can try and introduce that back into UK.
It's just like another thing they've got in German football, safe standing, and Celtic have got it now, and it works. There's definitely room for it. Like it all comes down to attitude. And most football fans, I don't care what anyone says, because you do get a lot of people like to have a go at us football fans, right? And I can see why, right? Problems with hooliganism we've had before. You're never going to get rid of it. You're always going to get a few dickheads here and there. But on the whole, we are good people, right? So the majority of that in safe standing, why not? Better atmosphere, singing, like.
One of the main issues with say, I mean, I'm an advocate for it 100%. I love going to grounds with old terraces. Like actually, I forgot to mention one of my favourite grounds, Brentford, which is going this year, unfortunately. Is one of the best football grounds in the country to go and visit because you've got a pub on every corner.
Well, I did have three now.
Yeah, 3 now. But we've been a few times. I've been a few. Yeah. And we've tried to do all three pubs now through. But yeah, I mean that's a great atmosphere, and you can stand with your mates and go where you want. But what the point I was going to make is I think a lot of these new modern grounds were built and to infrastructurally change them back to standing, I think it's going to cost a lot of money for the clubs. So I mean, they can give it the green light, but I don't think every club would do it.
I think, but with big clubs, they've got the money. They can definitely do it. Like I think,
like a gradient of the tiering. Because if you go to some grounds, I don't know if you've ever been to Reading with Jason Stadium. My God, it's like you're Eddie the Eagle on a downhill ski slope. It's so blooming steep.
Bloody hell, with his eyesight, God forgive.
Be down in.
Oh, Mad Stad. Another rubbish ground, by the way. Sorry, Dad, to tease you. I know you're right,
Just going back to football abroad. Do you think some of this is down to just the culture with alcohol? So I see the culture of alcohol in England, maybe because we've got 24-hour licences, but it's like the products. No place under 24 hours, right? If you get a pub, like we live in London, and it's got, we know like a handful of hotspots you go like late night boozing.
But still, they're closed at 4.
Yeah, it's not loads.
Yeah.
Is it? Do you feel like because our culture of drinking is like we go out, go to the pub, and we'll fucking get loose. We're going to get loose and smash ourselves in as quick as we can.
It's a Friday night, as we're saying. So we're probably going to do that exact same thing.
I didn't do that last night.
But like on the continent, say Germany, Spain, I don't know, like Belgium, etc., France, they've not got. They drink booze, but not like us. They've got like a relationship. They might go out later. They'll have like a few glasses of wine, or have a few beers, or they won't go like actually like I just got to scull 10 pints. And,
and I know
tell
what you mean.
Tell my mates.
I know what you mean. I think the Dutch and the Germans are quite similar to us in that respect. They love a drink and they love binge. Let's call it binge drinking because that's what it is.
Belgians are quite handy at that as well.
I think especially the Italians and the Spanish, Portuguese, the predominantly Southern European countries would do it differently. And you can understand why, I think, personally. Bloody hell. So it's a bit of a rut. Like one of the paintings has just fallen off the wall in a pub. Caused a bit of a ruckus. But the Southern Europeans, I think they do it slightly differently. Because you can, I do know it's down to, I think you can spend more time outside and enjoy your time outside. Whereas here, you got it's going to piss down rain outside, so you're going to sit in the pub. Like we had the other week in the Constitution, couldn't leave the pub because it was raining all day.
Oh, we were meant to be going for pie and mash. There was a massive queue. Started pissing down. Got to the boozer. Stayed there for 9 hours. What else are you going to do on a Saturday when it's raining?
But going back to your question, I think that definitely there's a different drinking culture. I think we're renowned for it, aren't we?
Number one. If it was an Olympic discipline, we get gold medal every time. Or maybe the Irish, but it'll be between us and the Irish, hands down.
It's just a shame that we're lager louts. Well, we're not lager louts, but we get tarnished for that brush of lager lout.
I can understand why though. Like if you go to any big European city on a weekend and there's stag do's there and British people just disgrace themselves. I don't know what it is. It's just in our mentality, isn't it, to be like that? I can't explain it. It's because we live on an island. Who knows?
Yeah, I agree.
I just enjoy the odd drink or two every now and then.
I think because we live in an island, and like you said, about the weather's not too clever here, really. So you have to seek refuge and shelter quite often, and then if you've got seek shelter in a public house, you're with. It used to be more about community and people who live in the area. Maybe like the pub we're in now, like Prince Arthur, is right next to an estate. So obviously the people that live in an estate, they'll come here and they'll be out of the community because like, oh Boris or Bob lives at flat number 22 and meet Jimmy down the pub, down in Arthur.
How's David doing?
I've not seen David for a while.
How's Elaine doing? He left him there. Forgot about that, she has.
Has Mickey got himself a job yet?
Nah, that'd be silly. He loves a doll too much. I joke.
But yeah, it's all about that. So
exactly.
It's all great. Exactly.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe we can change that in the future. Future generations might change that.
What's that? What, the drinking culture?
Yeah.
I can't see it. I honestly can't.
I mean,
I do much prefer the way continental Europeans drink and the way they live. I just think it's a lot more. It makes more sense. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure people all over Europe go and smash themselves as well, but maybe over a more prolonged period. And it'll be with food and company. They're not in a rush. I think the problem with the UK, especially, is we're always in a rush, especially in London. Where everything's in a rush. You got a minimal time here. You got to do as much as you can. Even with work, you work. It's intense. The lifestyle here is intense.
And it matches the drinking habits as well. That's what I love about the continent. Like, there's nothing better. Even like, obviously, as you know, like my mum's from Belgium. Now I go back a couple of times a year, and I went there with Dottie recently, and like, we were just sitting outside in a cafe. Like, I just love the outdoor drinking culture. We don't have that here. Beer garden, but it's different. But like in a square, it's proper continental. Yeah.
Like for a few months in the summer, where the weather's nice, and everyone will be sitting outside drinking. But other than that, yeah, you don't get it.
No, it's true. Yeah, I was thinking that. Well, this is like last year. This was like about this time of year. Went to Amsterdam to see the block party, and like the day after, we were just in the square, just sipping on, just growing a few drinks. Like not going mad, but take that. Say we was in England doing the same thing. We'd be like chilling pints.
Oh
like,
yeah, on a Sunday.
No, it was like
Sunday session, mate.
midweek, like we had a day off. It might have been a Friday actually.
Oh yeah, no,
Like,
you'd be
3 days.
absolutely hammering it, wouldn't you? You've got a nice little outdoor facility in a square, pedestrianised square in the middle of London or whatever it is. Oh, it'd be absolute chaos. You know, and I don't know why. It just they're just with me, and we know it. You know.
Out of control, wouldn't it, mate?
Do you know what? I'm pretty sure it's probably been the same for hundreds of years.
Yeah, that's pretty true. Yeah.
But it is a shame.
It's inbuilt, isn't it?
Embedded.
Ingrained.
And that's really about it, really. Apart from, who have you got the weekend?
Palace at home.
What do you think? What prediction?
To be honest, depends what Arsenal turns up. I mean, we could turn up, tear them a new one, or we could bloody lose it like we did last season. It's hit and miss at the moment, man. Like, don't know what's going on. I don't think, to be honest, I don't think Emery's the right coach for us. Then again, I don't know who's available out there. He's chopping and changing his team selections all the time, playing too defensive-minded sometimes when we should go all out attack. I don't know. Really depends on the day. I mean, yesterday we nearly got beat. Like, no offence to Victoria. I mean, they are a bit of a pub team. Like, sorry, Eddie, but like, just we got out of jail. Pepe got us out of jail. Those 2 brilliant free kicks right at the end. But they deserved to beat us. They were brilliant. The fans were amazing. Met a few of them in the Eddies in Camden after the game. Good people. See what happens, mate. I really don't know. I'd like to say 3-1, but see on the day what Arsenal turns up.
We got Fulham at home, and we're comprehensively going to get beaten. Just awful at the moment. Probably the less said, the better. Jonathan Woodgate just hasn't got it right yet. I feel a bit sorry for him because it's his first managerial job. He's been thrown right in the deep end with a weak squad.
Local lad, isn't he?
Local lad, yeah, exactly. You know, at the backing of Steve Gibson, another local lad chairman. But he just hasn't got it right yet. And we drew with Huddersfield 0-0 midweek, who are about the same as us at the
Are you in the league?
We are just 1 point outside the relegation zone. So, yeah, not doing great. And I think Fulham will just be too strong for us, even though we are at home. Woody hasn't found his best formation yet. He's trying all sorts of different things. He's playing a lot of defensive midfield players. We haven't got any real attacking flair. And we haven't signed hardly anyone. Because I think Steve Gibson's tightening the purse strings a bit because of the whole Brexit thing. His company's a haulage firm, isn't it? So he still doesn't know what's going to happen with his finances. So for that, we spent 60 million a few years ago. Gary Monk spunked it all up the wall. And, we haven't really recovered from that yet. So 3 points for Fulham, I think.
Cheers, Gary.
You twat.
Surely it's a team of people though. It's not always down to one manager.
No, of course.
Modern football, isn't it?
No, exactly. And he's got
Bucks
Neil
to the manager.
Neil Bowser is whatever his role is, director of football, is useless. It's not great times on Middlesbrough at the moment. Me and my cousin went to Birmingham City a few weeks ago on a Friday night. We were 1-0 down. We equalised in the 87th minute, only to have it snatched away from us in the 93rd. And it's just grim. It's just grim at the moment. But hopefully things will get better. We'll see. Right?
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll still follow them though, as we always do. Away. Not home actually, more away. But we'll be going. I think our next game's QPR in a couple of weeks. It's a nice London one for us, so it'll be quite easy.
Well, if you're ever up in Middlesbrough, you get a decent food called Parmo. Check it out, a lovely delicacy.
Chicken Parmo. It's basically, for those that don't know, it's a.
Your old man can't get enough of it. In fact, I can't get enough of it.
Loves it. My dad loves the Parmo, so do I. It's a battered chicken escallop served with bechamel sauce on top, with like this sort of orange cheese melted on top.
Food of the gods.
Absolutely.
Lovely little delicacy.
Served in a pizza box with chips and salad. And if you really want to go mad, put garlic
Lovely
sauce.
jabber.
Honestly, it is like Matt says, the food of the gods, and I can't believe that it's not big anywhere else apart from in the North East.
And that's a tragedy right there.
Maybe next time I go to Borough, well, next time if I go ever go to Borough, I might have a try Parmo.
Well, there is a little pop-up stand that comes down to London every now and then, but it's not like an original one from the pizza.
There's a place called the Rose.
It's not the same, Tom.
A place called the Rose in London Bridge that had Parmo in the menu as well. Actually.
Was that when Middlesbrough playing though?
Is that chicken parmigiano?
No, I'm not sure. I didn't investigate.
It might have been the Aussie version, which is not the original, and it's not.
It's good, but ain't the same. Don't let any Aussie down under tell you otherwise. I don't know what they're talking about, mate.
Mate, yeah. Have you not had one?
We got Parmo, son.
Chicken parmo, much better.
I'll try not to. So United, we've got Norwich away.
How you feeling about that?
New Farks, Norwich.
So we
Beat City at home, didn't
they
they?
did beat City.
It seems like a long time ago.
Although they did lose 5-0 to Villa the other week, so.
But the only thing with Man United, we do not create chances. So, and if you can't create chances, don't score goals. So, unless some miracle happens, we start passing the final third, or not playing like fucking idiots, like not slipping the ball through and having a stupid shot from outside the box.
What do you think of Solskjaer?
Difficult one. Like, I love him because he's a hero, he's a legend for us. So
Champions League final, isn't it? 99.
I've been watching a lot of like Tifo.
Could keep Cardiff City up though, couldn't he?
Him that Atletico, Cardiff. Did you say Cardiff?
Yeah.
He's made our defence is much better now. We don't actually go see too many chances. But the issue is we can't keep the pressure off because we can't keep the ball and we don't attack, we don't create chances. So we can defend for like 8 minutes fine. But when someone's just attacking, do you think someone's going to get a chance?
So you're missing Pogba a little bit.
We are definitely missing Pogba.
Yeah, so he basically creates all your chances.
Yeah, because like the rest of the divs can't fucking pass the ball through.
No, it's true.
But there's been some.
Excuse me?
There's been some bright sparks. Tommy's been
Pereira's a bit rubbish.
Yeah, but he's playing every game.
Yeah.
And like Daniel James has been a revelation.
He's been good, very good. McTominay as well has been good this season. It says a lot about Man United side when McTominay is one of your best players. I hate to say it, I've sort of grown up with the United teams.
You'll never win anything with kids.
Scholars and gigs and all that.
Oh, wait a minute, 96.
But Tony's back now, so Tony Marshall's back, so people's defences are getting up, so I'm happy about that. So I think we'll win 7-0.
7-0.
Fucking dream on, son.
Team Boggy.
7-0 to Norwich.
Boggy boy, big boggy boys.
If we score 2 goals, I'll be ecstatic.
I would love you to be Norwich, as you full well know I'm not a huge fan of Norwich.
We got into a spot of bother last time.
Probably better not talk about that.
Not being funny. How long we still got to go? Because I'm bursting for a Jimmy. In case people don't know, it's cutting your arm and saying, Jimmy Riddle Piddle. See, you can tell I went out last night.
Someone's had about 10 around you, hasn't he?
He's had about 2.
And the rest. 2 breweries by the sound of it.
Still around as well, so get us a point when you're down there, mate.
So on that note, as Murdoch needs to relieve himself,
Cheers, mate.
I'm going to sign off. I'm going to say thank you to the KTB.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Cheers.
And like all listen, subscribe or do whatever you do podcast. I don't know what you do. Just like follow
Hit the subscribe button. Get all your notifications.
Full of booze ass tales.
Give us a like.
Better than Joe Rogan.
Black Joe Rogan.
Black Joe Rogan.
See ya.